Oh, dear friends, gather round and listen closely, for I have a tale to tell that will make your heart ache and your soul weep. It's the story of my disastrous stay at the Royal Park Hotel de Kyoto, a place that promised the world but delivered only misery and woe. As I entered the hotel's grand lobby, I couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation. The decor was lavish, the staff were smiling, and the scent of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the air. But dear friends, don't be fooled, it was all just a facade, a clever ruse to lure unsuspecting travelers into their trap. Let me start with the room itself. It was a tiny, cramped space with a bed that creaked and groaned like an old wooden ship. The bedding was stiff and rough, like the supervisor's tone when I politely asked for a room change. And the noise, oh the noise, the sound of cars honking, people chattering, and doors slamming shut made it impossible to get a wink of sleep. It was like trying to rest in a war zone, but I digress. The real tragedy began when I discovered the state of the room. The floor was littered with dirt, dust, and God knows what else. I swear it was as if the cleaning staff had abandoned their duties and left the room to rot. And don't even get me started on the bathroom. The toilet didn't flush properly, the sink was clogged, and the shower curtain was mildewy. It was like they expected me to live in squalor. Now I know what you're thinking, dear friends. Why didn't you just ask for a room change or complain to the staff? Well, let me tell you, I did. Oh, I did. But it was like speaking to a brick wall. The staff was as unsympathetic as a robot, with an I don't care attitude that made my blood boil. They just shrugged it off, saying sorry, not sorry in a tone that was as condescending as a pat on the head. And then there was the incident with the bar. Oh, dear friends, it was like they were trying to rob me blind. A 550 yen fee just to sit down. It was like they thought I was made of money or something. I mean, I'm not asking for the moon here, just a decent cup of coffee without having to break the bank. But what really takes the cake is the way they treated me like dirt. Like I was just a pesky little insect they could squash at any moment. The manager, oh, she was as sweet as a viper's venom, always finding ways to make me feel like I was the problem. And don't even get me started on the way they barge into my room without knocking, like they own the place. It's like, I get it, mistakes happen, but it's how you rectify those mistakes that matters. And let me tell you, the Royal Park Hotel de Kyoto failed miserably. They just didn't care, dear friends. They didn't care about my comfort, my feelings, or my well-being. All they cared about was lining their pockets with my hard-earned cash. So here's my plea to you, dear friends, I repeat, don't stay at the Royal Park Hotel de Kyoto. Trust me, you'll be better off sleeping on the streets. At least then you'll have the stars to keep you company. Now I know some of you might be thinking, but what about the good things? Well, let me tell you, dear friends, there were none. Zilch, zero, nada. It was like they took all the good things in life and threw them out the window, leaving only misery and despair. So if you value your sanity, your dignity, and your wallet, stay far, far away from the Royal Park Hotel de Kyoto. It's a place where nightmares come to life, where dreams are crushed, and where hopes are dashed. And to all those who have suffered at the hands of this hotel, I see you, I hear you, I feel your pain. We are in this together, dear friends. We are the victims of their incompetence, their greed, and their disregard for human decency.
Here is the businesses near Royal Park Hotel de Kyoto. A disappointing reality as I delved into the reviews of businesses surrounding Royal Park Hotel de Kyoto. I couldn't help but feel a sense of disillusionment. The area is plagued by subpar establishments that seem to prioritize profits over people. It's like finding a rotten apple in a basket. It taints the entire experience. Let's start with Shinpuhkan, a shop that embodies the essence of disappointment. Reviewers were appalled by the discriminatory behavior of the staff, who seem to cater only to locals. It's like they're wearing a sign that says "Foreigners not welcome." The lack of respect and attention to detail is staggering. One reviewer aptly put it, it's like they're trying to be bad. The Kyoto Aquarium is another hotspot of frustration. Animal lovers, beware. The enclosures are cramped and the animals appear to be stressed and neglected. It's like visiting a sad, forgotten zoo. Reviewers were horrified by the conditions, and I must admit I'm horrified too. Who lets animals suffer for the sake of entertainment? If you're hungry, you might want to think twice about visiting Kyoto Station. The food is overpriced and underwhelming, and the service is abysmal. Imagine waiting for 30 minutes just to be seated, only to be told that they're out of everything you want to order. It's like they're playing a cruel joke on customers. Coffee lovers, don't get your hopes up about smart coffee. The coffee is mediocre and the service is lacking. One reviewer described it as not smart at all. I'd say it's more like coffee for dummies. They can't even get the basics right. Wine Room 17 seems to be the only establishment that's somewhat tolerable, But even that's not saying much. One reviewer complained about the storage temperature, which makes you wonder what else they're not doing right. The Royal Park Canvas Kyoto Nijo, a hotel, is a mixed bag. While the rooms are pretty, they're also tiny and lacking in storage space. Imagine trying to open your suitcase and having to do a mini dance to squeeze past your partner. It's like they want you to feel like a contortionist. And don't even get me started on the onsen pool, which is shallower than a kiddie pool. Inotka via Salaria is another enigma, with some reviewers praising the food and wine, while others were left underwhelmed. It's like they're playing a game of culinary roulette. As I wrap up this review, I'm left with a sense of disappointment and frustration. The businesses near Royal Park Hotel the Kyoto seem to be stuck in a rut, prioritizing profits over people and quality. It's like they're stuck in a never-ending cycle of mediocrity. Travelers, be warned, the area is a minefield of disappointment, but I still hold out hope. Hope that one day these businesses will wake up and realize that they can do better, that they can prioritize their customers and provide exceptional service. Until then, I'll just have to sigh and shake my head in dismay.
I'm so sad, you know. I've been looking into all these crimes near Royal Park Hotel the Kyoto, and it's just, so unfair to tourists. You're coming to this beautiful city, expecting to have an amazing time, and then these people just take advantage of you. It's so wrong. So, there are these restaurants and shops near Royal Park Hotel the Kyoto that are doing this thing called foreigner pricing. They give tourists a menu with higher prices than the locals, 50% higher. Can you believe that? They just think they can take advantage of you because you're not from around here. I mean, what would you do if you found out you were being charged more just because you're a tourist? You'd be so upset, right? And then, there are these fake monks near Royal Park Hotel the Kyoto. They dress up in monk robes and approach tourists, asking for donations for temple repairs or children's welfare. But it's all a scam. They're not even real monks. They just take your money and do who knows what with it. I mean, how could you do that to people who are just trying to be kind? It's so wrong. And oh my goodness, there was this one time when they found a suspicious object at Kyoto Station, which is, right near Royal Park Hotel the Kyoto. They had to stop the trains, and it was just, chaos. And then, some vendors started selling priority tickets to stranded tourists at super high prices. Can you believe that? They're just taking advantage of the situation. You know, I've also been looking into these bars and izakayas near Royal Park Hotel the Kyoto that are doing these bait and switch tactics. They lure tourists in with cheap drinks and food, but then they present them with these huge bills at the end. One group of tourists got a bill for over 20,000 for a simple meal. That's just, crazy. And the staff just refuse to let them leave until they pay. It's so scary. And finally, there are these photographers near Royal Park Hotel the Kyoto that are scamming tourists. They offer them free photos, but then they tell them they have to pay for the prints, 5,000 per photo. They even threaten to delete the pictures if the tourists don't pay. It's just, so mean. How could you do that?